myself is Shalini Bharadwaj. You all are watching ITV Networks Medically Speaking. So today we are going to discuss about mixopathy. Indian Medical Association is continuously protesting against mixopathy. So we have on our panel Dr. Jayesh M. Lele, who is the General Secretary of Indian Medical Association. Another doctor, we have Dr. Harish Gupta, who is a member of National Medical Council and a former president of Delhi Medical Association. Sir, welcome to the show. And my first question goes to Dr. Jayesh. Sir, what does this particular term mixopathy means?
Yeah. Mixopathy meaning a person who has learnt in particular kind of a stream or a particular kind of a medicine like Ayurvedic, Unani or homeopathic. He is practicing other than that. Suppose he is using the allopathic practitioner, then it is called mixopathy, and it is a vice versa. So generally at this moment of time, we more or less, these three pathy doctors who are prevalent in India, and they are more keen to use the allopathic stream of medicine. And that is why it is being, they are using the mixture, and then it is called a mixopathy or a crosspathy. These both the terms are togetherly used by right from Supreme Court to general our doctors associations also. So this is what the mixopathy means.
Means mixing two streams together. That means it's a mixopathy. That is modern medicine and Ayurveda, right, sir?
Correct.
So, Dr. Harish Gupta, sir, you are a former president of Delhi Medical Association. So, how you are supporting Indian Medical Association for this?
Not only Delhi Medical Association, whole of the medical fraternity is absolutely one on this issue. Recently, we have seen a notification by the CCIM, by the Ayush Mantralaya, that Ayurvedic doctors will be allowed to do certain kind of surgeries, whether it is related to eye, ENT, general surgery, and a few other surgeries also. That is a absolutely unfair notification which has come. The Honorable Supreme Court clearly has laid down, as Dr. Lele has just said, that crosspathy should not be allowed. It's a Supreme Court judgment by the learned judges, and no stream of medicines can be mixed. In Ayurveda, if an Ayurvedic practitioner is going to do surgery, we have our objections. They do not have drugs by which we can give anesthesia drugs. So they will have to use allopathic drug. They do not have drugs which can take care of the patients who are to be followed up in ICUs and who need intensive care monitoring and antibiotics and various other drugs. They are not available in Ayurveda. So how can you mix two streams of medicine once they are not practiced of it? If I am a surgeon and if somebody asks me to give a homeopathic drug, I will never give it because I don't know the ABCD of homeopathic medicine. So that is how it goes, and Delhi Medical Association is fully supporting this issue, and I can assure you we'll do everything possible on this issue, and we have already raised our voice and written it to the government officers concerned. We have raised it at our Delhi Medical Association, at our various 12 branches, and to the media also. And I can assure you that this issue is detrimental to the health of the nation, and we are going to take it up at the highest level with all our concerns, which will be there in future till this notification is withdrawn.
We have with us Dr. Avinash Vinayak also, who is the immediate past president of Indian Medical Association, that is Maharashtra wing. Sir, I would like to know how this, mixopathy is going to affect our modern medicine, how it is going to affect. If a common person wants to know about it, then how it is going to affect?
See, it's very important thing that you all know surgery is not a simple thing. You just learn it, read it, and you will be able to practice. It is not. It is very delicate thing, and it is not only learning for surgery. Learning surgery for 2 years or 3 years, you understand surgery and you can practice. When a student gets admission to the first year of MBBS, he learns anatomy. He learns each and every muscle, every vessel, and all the bones and every nerve, all the situations he learns. After that, along with that, he learns how the body functions, how the different things are working. Then in the first year itself, he learns the biochemistry, in which all the chemicals and other things in the body, how the body performs, all these things are learned. In the second year, he learns pathology, in which a disease changes the body, changes the organs of the body, the important organs, how the different diseases change it, how to rather make them, how to cure them, all these things he learns. And along with that, he learns for 3 years, and then if he gets good marks, he gets mastery over that subject, he gets admission to the post-graduation. After that, he learns for 3 years under care of eminent surgeons or his professors, and then only he learns a few things. After that, he learns some more techniques, and then he starts practicing. So doing a surgery, it's not just doing whatever the thing which is given maybe 1,000 years ago, or like, it is not like that. It's updating all the time, and you have to learn all the time. It is not just a single line when you perform a surgery. When you perform a surgery, sometimes there are so many things. In every surgery, there are so many things which arise, which may not include your 58 surgeries out of those 58 surgeries. And suppose this, all these complications, all the unseen, rather foreseen things, if they happen, a good surgeon always rather knows how to tackle it and how to cure his patient, how to save the life of his patient. So all these things are important in surgery. And in this mixopathy, these things will not be done, because the basis of the Ayurvedic education is totally different. They do not have these type of anatomy, physiology, pathology, or other things. So all these things definitely matter. It is not learning the procedure. It is not reading the book and doing something. So that's why the ultimate sufferer will be the patient, who, if he gets treatment from a mixopath, and if some complication occurs, and even there are many times, as Dr. Gupta sir is there, once suppose there is surgery on a abdomen or specific organ, once you open it, you do not know what is it. You have to know, and you have to change it. And sometimes what happens, there are so many unforeseen, or you are not predicted these things. And mind well, every person's body is little bit different, and a good surgeon understands all this. And for that, a mastery is required, which our modern medicine students get throughout their career, and which lacks in this mixopathy. And that's why we are opposing. They will create, the mixopath will be not a good quality surgeon, and definitely they won't be, rather it will be definitely detrimental for all the patients, all the citizens of India. That's why we are against it.
Dr. Jayesh, as Ministry of Ayush has given clarification that it is not going to include a general surgery, what you would like to say about it, and what would be your next step, because hunger strike is almost over, and how you are going to convince and convey your message to the people?
Still, lot of clarification is lacking from the CCIM notification and the Ayush Ministry. Number one, I must make it clear, I have got all notifications, whenever we have taken care of filing a writ petition in the Supreme Court, all the points have been noted down as previous similar cross-party judgments of the constitutional landmark judgments are there existing. And so we have taken care to file that. The clarification is much wanting. We have written to the government of India's all the possible, like Ayush Mantralaya, CCIM, Niti Aayog, Prime Minister's office, and President's office, everywhere. But so far we have not had any response from their side. So when the month of November this issue was there, in the beginning, immediately we had 1 day's hunger strike. Subsequently, we had talking and writing letters to the MPs. Now, because first phase of 14 days hunger relay strike was there, which we held this time across India. Formerly, we had a movement in Delhi itself, but this time we thought that every member, every state, and every branch of our Indian Medical Association, having 3.5 lakh doctors across India, should know about this. They get activated. Many other medical associations joined us at various places. Media has very well supported. And now this second phase, which we are going to start, of a meeting and having a common public awareness meeting at various branches. We are going to have the first meeting in Delhi itself on 24th of February. Then we are going to have one MP doctors as well as the senior MPs. We are going to have the meeting. All our branches will reach their local member of parliament, give them the submission, explain to them And we are going to distribute the banners and the posters across India to every our doctor's clinic, where he can display in our their itself own clinic, talk to their patients, talk to the regular person who visit them, and the senior leaders and local luminaries. So this most important. Our next step of phase 2 is the activation of the other leaders other than doctors, like lawyers, chartered accountants, or any corporate sectors, and the patients who are going to the end sufferer of this issue. So this is our second phase, which we are going to start immediately. Yesterday, when we have released the released the press release, we are going to start it, and already we have fixed. I am started getting the calls from various branches that we are going to have a meeting on that. It is I am requesting them that it can be a hybrid meeting, so that our senior leader also can join and chip in whenever needed, and the local leaders and local branches and local luminaries will attend that. So that is what our second phase is.
Dr. Harish, sir, are you going to involve medical students also in this particular protest who are already studying modern medicine?
Absolutely. Medical students are already involved in this. Our student network across India is also already working on it. I want to, Shalini ji, I want to make few things very clear. There should not be any misconception that we are against Ayurveda. Ayurveda has to be, we respect Ayurveda, but Ayurvedic practitioners also have their limitation. A MBBS doctor has his limitation. He cannot perform all surgeries. A general surgeon cannot perform cardiovascular and neurosurgeries. So we are not against Ayurveda. If Ayurveda has to prosper, those Ayurvedic practitioners have to respect and practice their specialty of Ayurveda. Surgery is not part of it because of the restraints we have told. Second thing is that this is not that we are doing it for the doctors, as Dr. Lele has said. Ultimate sufferer is going to be the patient. If becoming a surgeon involves a lot of things, it needs 10 years of hard work. It is not that we read a book and perform it. It needs on the table training in the post-operative ward, and a person should be able to handle any unforeseen complication which happens during the surgery time. So we want to take it up to the public at large, to all the policy makers in the bureaucracy, all the political people, and Delhi has a special role. And I can assure you, on behalf of Delhi being a past president, and take it up by all means to the public at large, to the media, to the students, and we will see to it that this unjustified, unconstitutional notification CCIM is withdrawn, and Delhi Medical Association will do its best to take care of the future of the health of the nation.
Thank you, Dr. Harish Gupta. Thank you, Dr. Jayesh, and thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Avinash. Thank you so much, sir,
Thank you.
for joining us on Medically Speaking.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.